How are you guys this morning? Welcome to our show today. Today we are focusing on stocks in this program. And let me get something here. Yes, welcome to today's program. We're focusing on stocks. A lot of people are thinking about financial investing and whatnot. Again, as a disclaimer, please read the disclaimer. We're not offering any financial advice. This is simply intended for education and basically my own education as I go and look at these issues. And I invite you to come along and look at them yourself, and and urge you to also continue researching, pursuing your ideas and your thoughts about investing in stocks or starting to invest in stocks. And today's particular investigation of ours, we're going to look into something called cyclical stocks. And we're going to base it on obviously a financial article that is out today in one of the major media outlets. So what should a newbie do? I mean, people thinking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is so speculative, as you know. It's very speculative. I've done previous shows on why that's okay for Bitcoin itself, not for the other cryptocurrencies. But for Bitcoin, it is okay. It is, it's something you all need to know and understand and, deal with, or at least if you're going to put money into Bitcoin, realize what you're doing. Look at, right now, today, for example, let's see where the market is on this. And let's give this thing a second to bring in. Let's see if we've done good. Well, here, Bitcoin right now is at 23,466. So as we let me give you guys a shot here. I should bring this up higher, actually. All right. So not everyone can see what's happening on the screen. Okay, now it came in. So as you can see on your screen, let me see something else. Okay, one moment. Okay, sorry about that. As you can see on your screen, Bitcoin is right now at 23. Well, it was at 400 before, but now it's 397. It changes minute by minute or a few seconds by seconds. It's when a transaction goes through, it comes in and shows up here. But in any case, some people think about are thinking that. Let me just get this back up there. Are thinking that. I'm sorry about that camera. The camera's not popping in for you here. Just give me a second here. Okay, so yeah, I haven't fixed that issue yet, so I'm sorry about that, guys. We're gonna work through this and work with me here. Okay. By the way, for those wondering, what am I saying? I see you perfectly. It's that I have another studio instance of OBS. This is the software used to broadcast the show. I have two of them. So, and that's because we are widely distributed. But what happens is, and the computer can handle it. But what's happened sometimes, the older setups that I had a problem that they were holding on to resources, particularly the camera. And so since then we've moved on to other scenes, and I've created other profiles and whatnot. And I thought an update had really fixed that issue or whatever, but apparently it's something in the older setups that we had that is the cause of the problem, obviously. So I will probably have to redo this network lineup, as I call it, towards do it again in a fresh yes would know what I'm talking about. Okay, so other than that, so let's get back to the point. Bitcoin is right now, if you're going to invest, and if you haven't, let me just say, listen, if you have Bitcoin, fantastic. You already have it. You got it as a gift, or you got it when they were set at $1 or even at $100 a coin. Man, oh man, right? What a ride! And it still got far to go, and you have some time to wait, right? So that's good. But those of you who haven't gotten into Bitcoin and you're not a multi-millionaire or billionaire now, for you, you have to think about going into Bitcoin. And really, I'm going to make it very simple. This is not an issue. I mean, you have to know firstly that it is speculation, pure speculation. Contrary to anything that you may read or hear people say, Bitcoin still doesn't have a real purpose in the real world. In other words, there's really no reason. Let me see what's causing that. There's really no reason for you to think that Bitcoin has intrinsic value. It's not gold. I mean, gold is gold. That has value. It's intrinsically so. But Bitcoin, it doesn't. It's just simple as that. That other people may buy it from you for a price. That is true, right? But it is, again, it's still a virtual asset. It's still something that can lose all of its value because, again, it doesn't have intrinsic value. And, it is very volatile. So, but that being said, its volatility is what makes its speculative nature exciting, the potential exciting for investors. Okay, but again, now you can see how Bitcoin has increased in value over time. So let's just extrapolate. So you need to realize everyone's looking for the $1 million payout, right? That's the big number in most of the investors' minds. And I'm not talking about $1 million investors here. I'm talking about the regular folks who had Bitcoin way back when, for a few years already, at least 2-3 years, right? They're looking. Their dream is $1 million Bitcoin. Waking up one morning, and Bitcoin's value is $1 million, and it's like holding there. Let me sell. That's what they're thinking is going to happen. Okay. So. These guys, so that's the big number for a lot of them. You have to realize that when it hits that number, if it gets there, and when it gets there, you're going to have a whole mess of people trying to sell. That is going to crash Bitcoin that day, that moment. All right. So again, you have to understand that. Okay. Now, that being said, let's just fantasize that it's worth $1 million and it stays there. It's staying there. It's hovering there. You can sell, you can buy at $1 million, no questions asked. It's holding, it's not falling down. Let's imagine that. Okay. So what does that mean for you? Well, you have to look at the price of Bitcoin now. And so if you were going to spend money in Bitcoin today, let's just use $1,000. If you had $1,000, and let's get the calculator out here, not tax my brain so early in the morning. Not that it matters what time it is. So let's get the calculator out, and let's just use the number, $1,000. Well, let's be more practical. Most of you will be able to put in 100. You figure you put in 100 Bitcoin, get some Bitcoin. Okay, so let's use 100 for now. Just add another 0 to all the figures that we will look into, or we'll have after this example. So you got to realize that with $23,000, and let's just use $20,000. Let's just say you're buying at $20,000 Bitcoin. It's now 23,417, but let's just use the 20,000 as our figure. So figure this. Now, if for it to go up to 1,000,000, it would have to go up 50 times. 50 times, okay? It would go up 10. If you're going up, like you can do this, like 5 times 20,000 would be 100,000, and then 10 times 100,000 would be 1,000,000, right? So it's actually 50, 10 by 5, and that would make Bitcoin $1 million. So whatever you invest in it today, $100 will be multiplied by 50, because that's how this works. You put in 100, and Bitcoin goes up by 50 times, so that Bitcoin becomes $1 million each coin. Your $100 becomes $5,000. So everyone else is a millionaire. You, because you waited until now to buy Bitcoin, and you only had 100 from the $600 stimulus check that's coming in a few days. You put in $100, and you only get 5,000. That's all you're looking at. It's $5,000. All right. So again, I've done other videos, and I will continue to do videos how to better, what better way to use your stimulus check that would return a much better return for you. Those are in other videos. We won't do that now. But I just did this example so that you can put everything in perspective. If you invested $1,000, right, and Bitcoin reached 1,000,000, then you're looking at 50,000. Okay, so, but again, you have to look at the time span, how long it takes for Bitcoin to get from one level, from one high to the next high, right, in terms of significant highs. Right now, it has surpassed a significant high that it's been trying to reach for a long time, which was the 20,000 mark. And it has gone a little bit over, but again, it's like it's uneasy there. Okay, so you figure out, you look at it yourself, and do your own analysis on the charts, and look at the time span that you can figure that it will take Bitcoin to reach 1,000,000. Okay, if that's your goal, right? So again, it is what it is. A lot of people are expecting, and it is reasonable in my estimation, that Bitcoin should hit 50,000 within the next 3 years. It is perfectly reasonable. And all of this depends really on what happens in the news, what goes on with whatever administration is in the White House, whatever China decides to do, whatever Russia does, whatever the Iranians and North Koreans and whatever other actors out there decide to surprise us with in the next 4 years. It really will impact how things develop when it comes to as it comes to this the price of Bitcoin. So that's going to affect things a lot, and how soon it goes up or how soon it goes down, and how far exactly. So these are the factors that you have to realize. What is, and so when you look at what to do with your money, or how to invest your money, in today's we're going to talk about stocks particularly. People, you need to look at, not, don't get too riled up in the promise of, whatever the asset is. If it's Bitcoin, don't get too emotional about, oh, it's Bitcoin, look at what is it, and in the stocks as well. You have to be careful about getting too swept away by hype, by people who are hyping this and over and they can give you hundreds of reasons that sound great and sound of why this is a good buy for you. And again, at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed. There's nothing ever that is going to be 100% guaranteed. Okay, there's things that they're just never 100%. You can be very safe. There are safe investments, so to speak. There are safe tools or safe vehicles in which to, I guess, to put some money into, or some interest into, or some trust in. But outside of that, there's really nothing. You should not be even putting money that you really don't have, which comes into play now, because the money that's coming, like from the stimulus, is money you don't have. It's really, you don't really have to consider the stimulus check as your money, and also as necessary money of yours, because you really don't have it. Before the vote in Congress, you did not have that money, and that money was not coming to you. So what we have here is a perfect time for you to continue without the money that was never yours anyway, in terms of expecting to have it in your hands, right? So just continue that way. And it's a perfect time to take that money that's being given to you freely. You'll have to pay taxes later, but we'll deal with that later. Right now, the key is right now what you do. So take that money that's being given to you freely, and it's free money, folks. Now, it's going to be really dumb for you to spend it on stuff. It's better that you take that free extra money that you don't need, because that's the qualifier here, that you really don't need, that because you didn't have it. You didn't have it. And it wouldn't come if they didn't vote for it. So you wouldn't have it anyway. So keep it that way. Like I said just now, I'm making that emphasis because, a lot of the reasons that people are poor and don't have financial stability is because you think the wrong way. And you take license, which means you allow yourself to take possession of things that you really do not possess. Okay? And that covers a lot of financial decisions that people make, and going into financial areas that you normally wouldn't do, except that you allow yourself the license, permission, you permit yourself to do something that really you shouldn't be doing, buying something you really shouldn't be buying. And those decisions are the ones that either make us or break us. So right now, one of the key points of investing is never invest your money that you need to live on. And really, that's money that is yours. And that's what you have today. Before that check comes in the mail, the money that's your money that you shouldn't ever risk and put into any investment is what you have right now. Now, this money that's coming in the stimulus check is money that you should be playing with, because you know what? It isn't your money. It's money that's being gifted to you. It's money that's being given. And it's money that you really didn't expect or should have reason to expect it. It's not earned income. It's not money that you've earned. It's simply an assistance that the government is providing that you didn't expect yesterday. It's coming in the mail. So it qualifies as extra money. It qualifies as money that you don't need, because in matter of fact, you didn't have it yesterday. You didn't have this money until someone else voted it in to send to you. Okay? So that is the best opportunity that every American has been afforded by this government. It is a wonderful time. So it is a moment that you should really start treating it as a separate money that came in that you can fool with. And you need to treat it like that. But that doesn't mean to spend it on garbage. It means to take this money and to put it into something that's going to make money for you. That money is money that you've earned, you see? So you're going to turn it into money. That is the most wisest way of dealing with this money coming in from the government. So, again, with Bitcoin, if that's something that you're looking at, realize that you're looking at best 50 times a return on what you're going to invest, and you don't know whenever that will happen, and if ever you will be able to catch it in time before it goes crashing down. Because like I told you, when it hits $1 million, everybody's going to start cashing out, and that thing is going to go dropping down like a rock. And in truth, they'll be starting to cash out as it goes higher and higher. They won't do that. They won't wait till the $1 million, because they know that when it hits $1 million, it will definitely crash. But everyone has this already in their minds. This has already been discussed, so we know how it's going to go down. The issue is that you have to be aware of this. You have to, you're starting new. You're thinking about what I'm going to do. I don't know much about this, so you have to be very, very, very careful. Now, all of these issues about stocks and about Bitcoin and investment in general, it's very scary for most people who don't have experience and who haven't read and who are not understanding how these things work. So at the end of this video, you should have at least a game plan. This is my purpose in this video, is to give you a game plan. In other words, a way to look at it that doesn't hurt you and prepares you for the good or for the bad, whichever way. And this is the best way to deal with it, because it's, again, and the first step to that is, this is free money. You're getting free money right now. You're getting money to play with, money that you're able to lose, as is the government's official statements on this, is that you should only invest money you can afford to lose. Let me get that. Get that for you so you can see it. Investment money, or I should say only invest. I'll look it up here so that you can actually read it, and so you know that that's not me talking. Okay, so let me just try to find something. Yeah. Okay, let's look at Google. Will provide you with what I'm talking about right now. As you can see here on your screen. I'm sorry. The phone started talking. It's not you, dear. Go Google, whoever it is there. Okay, the phone responded to me. Okay. So there's one golden investment rule you see here that you should always keep in mind. Never invest money that you can't afford to lose. You see? So that is the most important rule of investing. So you see it there, and let me blow it up for you in the screen so you can and get that one thing in your mind. Be very, very clear about this. Never invest. You should always keep in mind, never invest money that you can't afford to lose. All right, so you see it right there. That is sound. That's what you call sound advice. And the government gives you this advice. Any professional, any legally sound site that's talking about finances or any other thing investments is going to tell you that. That's the most important thing you have to understand. So that's why this money that did not exist for you 24 hours ago is money you can afford to lose because you really didn't have it, and you really wasn't supposed to have it if it wasn't for the Congress voting to send some to you. As simple as that. So really, you should just consider that money you can afford to lose because you really didn't have it. You really didn't have that money. Okay? Again, because this is the way you look at something. Again, you didn't have that money before, so you don't have it now. Simply don't think, that's your money, because it isn't. Someone else is sending to Americans this money. And right now, it behooves all of you who are listening to this, and even those who don't, to think. This is free money. This is money that I don't have to consider as my money, as money that I can't afford to lose. Because in reality, it is not my money. It wasn't my money 24 hours ago. So I think the mistake, most people make this mistake often in their lives. Many times you're given opportunity by our divine purveyor throughout our lives. We're given different opportunities to better ourselves, to improve our financial state, and we take it the wrong way. We look at it in the wrong manner, and then we spend it as in the wrong way. I've done some videos, and there's a class that I'm developing, a course on really having the right mindset when it comes to money. There's dead money and there's living money. But I'm not going to get into that right now. But the thing is that this money right now is not yours, and really you shouldn't even think about it as being your money and being money that you can't afford to lose, because it really isn't yours, and you should just keep it that way. This is money that wasn't part of my budget. It wasn't part of my struggle 24 hours ago. It still isn't here. Do not put it into your consideration. See, you're not going to stop looking for a job. You're not going to stop trying to make ends meet. You continue with that because that's what you would have done if they wouldn't have voted this in. You have to understand that. If the Congress did not vote this in, you would still have to do what you have to do. So, do what you have to do, even when the check comes in the mail. And treat that as an opportunity for you to do something that normally you would never do, because you would always make the other decision. And realize that other decision is the one you've always made up to now. And where are you today? That's what you have to realize. Where are you today? Based on that same decision making, the same way of thinking that you had the other days. I'm sorry, I don't have the chat up, and I should have it, because I'm sure somebody will have a comment. And I am not looking at the comments right now, so just give me a second, and we'll get into the stocks. Right away. So we're going to get into that right now after I get this up. I'm sorry about that. I got too excited about the topic and the thoughts in my mind of how I'm going to present things. So chat room is now open. So in case anybody wants to say something or ask a question, Again, we're doing research. It's not really nothing that I can answer for you, but I'll invite your comments so that we can do research together. That's what we'll do. But anything in particular of that I had said that you want to ask about, well, that's fine from my own viewpoint, and that's okay. Anything else about financial issues? I'm not a financial expert by any means. I utilize the services of financial experts in many different fields, and legal experts, of course, and that's what you should be doing as well. But what we're doing here is investigating, learning, and understanding at least how we should deal with this gifted money that may result in a better financial standing for ourselves and for our families. So that's what I'm suggesting through this video. Okay, so that's the way to look at it. Like I told you, like the way to look at Bitcoin isn't anything else except 5 times, 50 times, in the best case scenario, heaven on earth. Okay, and that's basically the way you have to look at it. When we're dealing with stocks now, we're going to look into an article here. Now that we squared away that this money that's coming in is your best option for making different moves than you've done before. And again, I'm not recommending you put this into stocks, by the way. I mean, I have better ideas for you, like real estate. And if you look at my other real estate programs, those are much better avenues for you to use the small amount of money that you're getting and to get the maximum return. Again, you have to look into it yourself. I'm just letting you know that I'm not doing this stock show today, or this topic, because I'm telling you to invest in stocks. I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm answering a question that many people have about stocks. They're curious. Would stocks be, we looked at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a little too crazy for me. I'm looking maybe stocks, maybe some of these solid stocks that don't disappear. Maybe that's a better choice for me. So that's the question that we're answering in this show. Okay. All right. So let's look at this question. And I'm sorry that when I go into the screen with you, you're not seeing me. That is, well, you're seeing something there, right? Or no? Oh, I see. You're seeing this. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm not going to play with that. That's part of the issue that we were talking about previously that needs to be fixed. So anyway, today let's look at an article in Business Insider. This is an article, Business Insider. What are cyclical stocks? High profit but volatile stocks whose prices rise and fall as the economy grows and declines. This is an article by Robin Kavanagh. This was released 30 minutes ago. This is a brand new article, fresh out of the oven. Okay, so when you're thinking about stocks, you've been wondering about stocks for a while and curious, but since we're not educated, most of us don't get an education in the stock market and how to invest in stocks and things like that. So we stay away from the stock market. And most of us only have stocks through an IRA, right? Through a company IRA, an employee type of benefit. And that's our really most Americans' introduction to stocks is through that manner. Okay, so what is a cyclical stock? A cyclical stock, as the word itself implies, is a stock that goes through cycles. And basically, what is the cycle that a stock would go through? It's not going to be a sideways or left and right pattern. What we're talking about, it's up and downs. Up in value and down in value, right? So the cyclical stock is a stock that has some stability in the sense, or it has staying power. I mean, the companies are solid companies, but their business is not a steady business, or it's not a business that's ever increasing and increasing and increasing. It's not a business that is steady all throughout the year and from year to year, etc., etc. These are businesses whose business model, products, etc., are very sensitive to the economy. So we know that the economy goes up and goes down, right? So that we do understand, and we need to understand that. So these are stocks that go up and down with the economy. So as the economy goes up, these stocks usually go up. And if the economy tanks, these stocks usually also tank. And they are basically based on industries that are called discretionary. In other words, in terms of consumers, the ones, people buying those products or services, these are discretionary items. You don't need it to survive. They're not staples like food and utilities. These are always something that people need, good and bad times. They always need electricity, and they need food and stuff like that. So these are things that people will always need. And those stocks, though, however, those stocks really don't have like major increases or decreases, though. That's the giveaway. So if you're looking for stability, that you want to put your money in and maybe have a slight increase over time, very slight, then you're looking at utilities. And you can do more research on that over time, how the utilities have increased, or how food stocks have increased over time, right? So you can do something like that. But the cyclical stocks suffer losses, and then they enjoy highs, and some of the highs are significant highs. So basically, if you're looking to this is the simple way to look at it. If you're looking to make a profit from the money you invest and have significant returns, then, and you're looking at stocks as your vehicle to realize that, then you want to look into cyclical stocks. And you want to get invested in cyclical stocks when the cycle is down, of course. And arguably, we're in a down cycle right now. When there's high unemployment, when there's high, fears about the economy, the economy is suffering, that's when you want to get into the cyclical stocks. You want to buy into those, and then you hold them. Again, it's a holding game until the economy starts going up again, or it actually goes up. How long do you hold on to them? It's up to you, but you have to understand that why you are getting into the stock. You're not getting into the stock to make millions of dollars necessarily, right? You're not looking for the 50 times. You have to decide for yourself how much of an increase you're happy with. This is the type of thing I'm going to talk to you about, because you have to have a coming in point and a getting out point. You have to know, you have to decide when are you going into this stock and when you're leaving it. Doesn't matter if it goes up to $1 million after you left it. You say, oh man, this is that. After I got out, it went up to $1 million, and laugh at it. Simply laugh. And that really that thing is very rare to happen. So you don't have to worry about it as much. You win some, you lose some. Okay, that it's best to lose coming out at a profit, right? And it kept going after you left. It kept going up and hit high. It's better to lose gaining than it is for you to lose falling or not in the game at all. You understand? So you just have to choose your level of win. You won. Again, all of this has to deal with the way you think. And the best way to win in life and win at financial things like this is to change the way you think and see things differently. In other words, you have to determine for yourself and be happy that, okay, if this stock goes up 5 times its value, I made 5 times on my money, I'm good. I won. I'm a winner. It doesn't matter if it went up 50 times after you left. You have to understand that you have to be willing to walk away with profit and be happy. That's what you have to be willing to do. Just like you're not going to do something and for it to be lost. You just don't do it. Simply. Don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. Like, it's just as simple as that. Plain and simple. This money coming from the government, it's extra money. It's money that is not even yours to even consider about losing it or spending. You shouldn't look at it that way. It's just simple. It's a simple process of this is extra money that I wasn't going to have yesterday. So listen, I'm not going to consider it, except for the fact that I have to do something with it. So simply, let me do something that I wouldn't do normally, that has a potential of producing something for me. And you, again, this is up to you. I wouldn't put it in the stock market. I wouldn't put it into Bitcoin. That's my opinion. If your opinion could be different, that's up to you. Personally, I would put it into real estate. Okay. But for obvious reasons. The question is why? Well, because real estate is something that's solid. And it doesn't matter what happens, you still have something. You understand? You can lose money in the stock market. You can lose that money. It goes down in value and it's lost. And that's what else can you can't put a house on a stock, Same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin can lose its value, and what can you do with it? It lost its value, so what do you do with it now? There's nothing you can do with it, right? But if you have property, there's a lot you can do with it. Property values can go down to the bottom. But you can still put a tent on that and live on it. You can still grow some potatoes on that. You can sell potatoes and make money from it. So this, real estate is the obvious value. Absolutely. So you can't have a question about that. So if you're looking for something solid, then get solid, land, get property, because it is solid, after all. All right. But so that's the way you want to look at it. Let me show you something else about this issue. When you're approaching the stock market as a new person, as a newbie, you got to look at it like business. And it's simply what you're trying to do is to multiply the money. Like right now, you're getting $600 from the government. How much would you like to make from the 600? How much more money would you like to make? I mean, after all, you're not spending it now. Other people are spending the 600. They're getting a $600 TV, or they're using the $600 to what, I don't know. You can't really use it on a vacation now because you don't know if you're allowed to get out. You're on lockdown, right? So anyway, but getting things for the house or for your pleasure and entertainment, whatever, $600. So the question is, can't you make, some more money from the 600, use the 600 and make, let's say, 6,000, and can't you then get your TV or the entertainment that you wanted to buy with the 600, or whatever it was that you wanted to do with the 600? Some of you want to smoke it. With $6,000, you can spend 600 and smoke it if you like, right? And still have something left over. So, like what I'm saying is, and that money actually that you make, then that becomes your money. That is really your money. See, but the 600, that's a gift to you, and you can either spend that gift and it disappears forever, or you use that gift to make more money, and that's really then your money. Then now we can start making some cake and eating it. So, right? But not with the 600. The 600, that stimulus check is a blessing that you really should use in a sensible way to make more money, that then you can spend it, like to waste on your own pleasure, your desire, or your dream, whatever that is. So getting back to the stock, the cyclical stocks are those stocks that at this point, with the economy being suffering and struggling the way it is, and again, you may determine it still isn't really suffering right now. You have to look at that. I'm just speaking in general terms. Look at the state of the economy, compare it with the past, right? And see if the economy actually right now, as this check comes in the mail, is the economy really suffering right now? You got to look at that and make your own decisions, of course. And with the advisement of a professional financial advisor, and your lawyer's a lawyer that would advise you in such areas, you need to verify for yourself that this is the downtime. Look at the stocks, look at their history. There's phone apps that you can use, like Robinhood, although it has some people say it's a bad thing because people go invest in stocks without knowing what they're doing, and I agree. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. That's why I'm doing this video, actually, so that you have some sense about how to handle it in an easy and painless manner. And the opportunity has presented itself with the stimulus check, that you can make certain decisions. You have options now that would be painless. Would be painless because you change your frame of mind in relation to any money that you get. It's gift money. It's money that is extra. You shouldn't consider as part of your budget. It's really something that you can afford to lose, because by a hand vote, it became. It wasn't there before. But again, in a cyclical first of all, you decide, you see for yourself, is this a downtime in the economy? Look at what's happened with the pandemic, right? Are we reasonably near the end of the pandemic with the vaccines being delivered? There's a new strain. You got to look at all these factors. There's a new strain going out there. We don't know yet, although they're saying that the vaccine is effective against the new strain. We'll see, right? But these things will be seen, and there's unknowns still that we're still yet to realize or encounter in the future. So all these things are factors. But things being what they are today, as we look at them, do you feel that these luxury stocks, and these are discretionary spending, like we mentioned before? You can't really travel with your $600 check, but will travel become something done in the future? And how further in the future do you expect it? That's up to you, to make how much time you want to be able to wait for the money to come back and increase for you. Things like travel, entertainment stocks, venues, right? Auto manufacturing, building construction, and luxury retail items. and manufacturers of those things, or retailers of those things. You see that right now, like restaurant stocks have to be like dirt bottom down really right now. And a lot of restaurants, especially the smaller guys, the mom and pops, or the ones that are one owner, not part of a franchise, etc., etc. These guys are really at the end of their ropes right now. Not that you can buy stocks in their enterprises, but I'm just making bringing out the picture of how economic struggles that are happening out in the business world, so that you can have a better understanding of how to look at this whole thing. So then you make your determination. Is the economy at a low point now? Is it a good time for me to put some money into stocks? Is this a time where, since the vaccine is being distributed, we have a chance that this economy will start building back up? So it seems like, I'm not telling you it is, we don't know, but it looks like there's indicators that this is like the perfect time. This money is coming in at the right time. Indications. It may not be, but it looks like that it could be a good time, because if everything works well, the vaccines do what they're supposed to do without any other crazy side effects or anything like that, and we have no one else doing any crazy stuff in the world, then it looks like we're looking at an improvement of the economy in the next year, and in the subsequent years after that. So these types of stocks, people will start to travel. They're going to travel like mad, because they've been putting off their vacation all this time. They're going to be traveling. The entertainment venues are going to pop. People gonna, they're gonna get back to work and start producing, and probably they've been holding on to their old, their old car for a while now, and they're gonna get that new car. The car manufacturer is gonna want to sell, so there's gonna be a great thing in uplifting in the economy that way. People start buying houses. I know for a fact that a house market right now is very dismal. I'm here in Florida. I'm here at a development, and development has all but stopped since this COVID came in. It froze over, and if they've built in the last year, they've built maybe 2 homes, which means that only 2 people brought a home. If you were trying to survive selling homes here, in this development, you were out. Only 2 homes, really, I've seen being constructed since I've been here. Now, that's terrible, since the COVID thing. So, and there's a lot of land still that's supposed to be for homes, but no one's buying. So that's what's happening right now. So, yeah, but once everything starts moving again, I'm sure those boom, they're going to start the construction back up, and there will be sales. So again, is this the right time to get into some stocks, some depressed stocks? So you have to look at the stock prices for these building construction materials even. Don't look at the developers, but look at the stocks of the manufacturers of the materials for building homes, and then the luxury retail items, because then the rich people have money, but they're not spending it. See, they're not going to spend it. They're holding on because they don't know what's going to happen. But when things start going back to normal, then those luxury retailers and their stocks, they're going to see more sales. People are going to want new things. It's going to create a whole new buying frenzy out there, and so those stocks are going to skyrocket. So now and again, what I'm proposing to you is that you don't sit on these stocks. You just let them go skyrocket. You need to go into them with a set profit margin in mind. So it's like a business. In other words, you're going to come in and say, I got this $600. I'm expecting I'm going to put it in XYZ industry and these in one stock or this few stocks here. And I'm going to get out when that $600 becomes, $6,000 or becomes, 15,000, whatever you're looking at, or maybe 800, even maybe as little as that. You may look at. You have to look. It all depends on what stocks you're choosing, what historically what have been their increases. One of the other things you want to look at also is the past years, although that's not an indication of any future performance, but at least you can see their cycles and what is the percentage of increase in the average in their cycles. So if you can see that they go up by 10% usually, the average, or it goes up 50% or even 100%, then you can say, okay, let's see if we can get 75%, and I'll walk away a 70%, 50% increase, or let's hope for the 100, and then when it hits it, you sell your stock and you walk away. It's as simple as that. It's not an issue that now we're going to be a professional stock player or anything like that. It's an issue of multiplying, making from that gifted money and making more money from it that is now your money. And it's like I've always said, I don't think stocks are something that regular folks should get into unless it's an IRA. It's managed by a professional management expert or a firm that is an expert in managing IRAs for retirement and stuff like that. That's fine. And if you're independently wealthy, you got money to burn, and stocks are something to burn money with, then that's fine. But for the regular folk out there, I really, this is an opportunity to make some money from it and walk away and put it into something like more stable. I would personally put it into something more stable from the get-go, which is real estate, and it's something that you can afford with the $600. $600 you have, I showed people, there was an opportunity last year. I say last year, but that's because this is getting recorded and probably be seen by most people next year as we approach the end of this year. But in the beginning of this year, there was great opportunities in real estate, I guess because of the COVID thing that got started, that you could have gotten into real estate really cheap, and you would have been well on your way if you had taken my advice then. Right now to $1 million portfolio, and using one of the strategies I show my students in my real estate course. So again, this is an issue of having knowledge, of knowing what to do and making the right decisions, moving at the right time. It's funny because after a month that I showed my students that, those opportunities disappeared. They swallowed it all up. It all went. And so again, we're continually looking. Right now, with the $600 check you get, there are at least two other strategies that you can implement right now in real estate right now that would put you in a very good position in the coming year. Again, but you have to make the decision to do that. And again, since it's real estate, it's much more secure, especially the way we do it, because we make trusts. We put it in a land trust. It's very safe, very secure. It's the safest thing, because if you put your property in your name, someone can sue you for whatever reason. They tripped and fell in front of the house there, whatever. They can sue you. They can take your property. But with the land trust, it becomes a very, very, very difficult thing for you to lose your property that way. So it's the safest way to have your property, enjoy the benefits of it, and get a profit from it, And that's what we do for our clients. But again, it's your decision how you use this extra free money that you can lose um, when it comes to you. And again, putting it into stocks, there's people who do very well. Again, you have an opportunity to choose a cyclical stocks and do that type of research. So I invite you to go into that Business Insider article, look at it further, look further into cyclical stocks, and consider that. You also have the Robinhood app and other apps that you can purchase some stocks, and based on the research that you do and advisement from the financial experts that you retain for yourselves. This is something that you want to look into, but go into it having an exit plan. Excuse me, which should be a profit amount, and it shouldn't be exorbitant. It really should be, what can you reasonably expect to get out? Excuse me. What should you reasonably expect to get out from this $600 investment into the stock, or to the portfolio of stocks that you're putting in? And just when it's realized, just walk away. It's a business transaction. I wanted $3,000 from the $600 stimulus check. I invested in XYZ stocks. The value of the portfolio increased over the next year. It reached $3,000. I sold out. I cashed out, and I'm happy. I'm good. And now I go into the next project. And you do, and that's the way you really should handle it. You shouldn't be, I gotta hold on to the stocks. The stocks will make me rich and all this. It's just silliness. You don't need that. All you need is real estate. Really, real estate will make you rich. You just need to make the right decisions and get started in it sooner than later, and make the right choices in that. And real estate will do it for you, and it's safe. You see. But again, if you want to do the stock business and use the stock's cyclical behaviors to carry your money up higher, that's one thing we did. I did a test, a case study on, I think, on our YouTube channel, and we took money from I guess you could call it a savings account. We took that money, which would have been the amount of money it was still today, would have been there, dead. And we put it into some cryptocurrencies. And we did a test. We just let it go into this cryptocurrency based on some information, some research that we did. And we just let it ride on the cryptocurrency. And it's interesting. The only difference was changing it from a savings and putting it into a cryptocurrency. It's still saved there. It's either way. It's money here, money that was here in a savings. It's true that in the crypto, it's risked because it can go down to zero, to nothing, and be garbage, right? So it's lost. But it's money that we could lose. It was just sitting here doing nothing anyway. So we took it out of here, the do nothing account, and we put it there in the do something or die account. This is basically the way we looked at it. It's very simple. I look at things very simply. And what happened? It increased 3 times in about a month and a half's time, month to 2 months. It went up like 3-4 times its original value. And then we achieved like 5 times its value on that. Okay, so that's incredible. Thinking that it was money that was just sitting there doing nothing, right? And we got 5 times the amount of that value within 2 to 3 months from when we changed that over into what I call living money, which was money that's breathing, and every day you see the amount go up and down. It's like the lungs filling with air, and then it exhales and then it fills up with air again and exhales. Then sometimes it starts running and running. So, but it's living, it's doing something, and so again, we're fine with that. You just have to change your thinking into one that you take like this opportunity coming in and doing something that makes the money breed. Make it breed. Make it make more money. Don't spend this money. Okay, you shouldn't spend it. Meaning that you shouldn't transfer that money into a monument of stupidity, which which is buying something with it. Okay, you should spend it, invest it, and make it live, have a chance at life. You have to do like the Frankenstein movie, give my creation life, right? You need to give your money life. This money coming in, you should give it life. Okay, not make a monument of it by buying something that's just loses value, but give it life. Okay, it took me a while to learn this in life, really, and I've spent a lot of money. When I say spent, it's dead. Okay, I still have this big investment, a big money that I spent. I trying to make it into an investment, trying to make it bring life to it. Then COVID came in. You understand? So listen, do yourself a favor. Bring life to your money. Bring life to the stimulus bill and change your financial fortune for the better. Okay, you got the article, Business Insider. Go over there and read that article. I didn't go through it with you as I originally intended, but I figured the talk that we had was more helpful for a newbie anyway. You can still go see that article at Business Insider, which is preferably, there's a lot of good information there. Business Insider, again, the article is what are cyclical stocks, and go take a look at that today. And if you're interested or ever was thinking about the stock market as a place for money you can afford to lose. Okay, but I hope that you've been helped in some degree by the suggestion that we made today in how to see the money, the stimulus check that's coming in. I know the senators out there, they really made a big case that the American people need this money. They need it. They're losing their businesses. And a lot of you guys are doing that and stuff like that. You're suffering with this COVID. I had a whole workshop series, real estate. I was going to make millions of dollars, simply. And it went, right? But I can laugh at it, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I look at things differently, okay? And hey, I still got another chance. I'm still alive, so I can still do it. Okay, so, but I know what I know. See, the reason I'm able to laugh at it, because I was going to make way more money anyway with the knowledge that I have. And so it doesn't matter to me, see, that I couldn't do the workshops. It affects a lot of people out there, but it doesn't really affect me because I know what I know. But anyway, hey, listen, I still can do it virtually. We still have it being given virtually, actually, to those who brought tickets. And we will continue to develop that as well as my other stuff. So it's not a big deal for me, but a lot of people are suffering out there. Not that I'm making a slide of it. But again, under my philosophy of viewing money, this stimulus check is really money you can afford to lose, because this really wasn't your money before their vote. It magically appeared, and it is the best and greatest opportunity most of you will have in your entire life to change your financial life around. So I really suggest that you do it. Don't do dumb. Do something different. So you have your crypto, you have stock, you have real estate, which is that's the one I really suggest you do, because it's solid. You will always have a place to put a tent on and to grow some vegetables on. Okay, you can restart your life on some real estate and survive on real estate. That's yours, you see. But these other two options, yeah, as long as things continue one way or other, good or bad, you okay, you can see something sometime. But nothing is as good as real estate. So I'd really do, my suggestion, my advice, if any, is to really give real estate a good look. And even with the little bit of money that you're getting from the stimulus, you can do it. You can do. We have a program for you. So keep watching our channels or wherever you're seeing this video for that information, or for contact information. I'm not going to do anything here. I'm not trying to sell you anything here in this video. There's videos for that, but keep a lookout for that. And obviously, if you're interested in real estate, look out for our workshops. They'll be given virtually, and succeed in your life and succeed financially. Take care, and God be with you all. Thanks for watching.